I'm Willie Bryson. Welcome to Fly Fish in the Maritime Provinces in Canada. Thanks for being with me here today, and today we're going to tie a Mickey fin streamer salmon fly. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get to it. So here's what we need to tie a Mickey fin streamer fly. The hook size is either 6, 8 or 10 with a long shank. The thread is black. The body, you'll need silver flat tinsel and oval silver tinsel. The wing is yellow and red bucktail, and there's an option of using Flashabou. So we put this the hook into the vise. What I'm using is a size 8 long shank. Take my black thread, start at the eye of the hook, just make several turns to tie everything in place. And then trim off the excess thread. Now, using tight turns, I'm going to continue with the black thread all along the body of the hook. We want to keep these turns tight and touching, because using flat tinsel, we want a nice flat body all the way down the whole length. So as we're coming up to the start of the hook, we'll stop there, and we're going to take some oval tinsel, silver, and tie that in first. Just make sure it's sitting in place. And make a few turns to hold it there. And then we'll take our flat tinsel. The flat tinsel has gold on one side, silver on the other. And what you want to do is to keep the gold side up at the start, or the gold side showing outward. A few turns to hold that in place. And then tie everything together all the way down the length of the shank of the hook. As you see, I've got the oval tinsel on the back end of the hook and the flat tinsel on the opposite end, on the front end. This is just to ensure there's no bulges in the fly. So once you've got the thread back down to the eye, we're going to take the tinsel and then start folding it, touching turns from the back all the way down to the front, with the silver showing out. Just take your time and make sure it's as flat as possible, that you're just overlapping the tinsel from one turn to the next. And once you get to the head of the fly, just tie it off with your thread. And trim off any excess pieces. Now I take my oval tinsel, and what this rib is going to do is just hold the flat tinsel in place. So the oval tinsel does not have to be touching turns. You can leave a small gap in between it and wind it right down to the front of the hook or the eye. Then do the same thing, a few turns to hold it in place. And trim off the excess. Now, because it's tinsel, we can push it all in tight at the front and then start building up the head of our fly to make sure everything's secure. Now I leave a few millimeters away from the eye of the hook because we're putting 3 lots of bucktail on this. Starting with the yellow bucktail, we want that to be about the length of the hook itself from the eye to the back, maybe a little longer. So it's not a big bunch, but we take several fibers and tie it in at the front, and you can pull off any loose ones. And then we're going to do the same thing with the red bucktail. Don't want too much of this, so just break it down about the same as the last time, and you want these to be a bit longer than the yellow, and tie them into place. Just like that. So you see they extend just past the first run of yellow hackles. Or sorry, yellow bucktail fibers. Make them nice and secure. And then we're going to take another chunk of the yellow fibers, and they're going to be longer than the red ones. Now, I've first seen this fly being tied by Steve Clapperton, and it was on a TV show down in Cape Breton or Nova Scotia. And his was actually longer fibers, and he was tying it on a tube with a hook extended from the tube towards the back of the fibers. I'm tying the shorter version, or a shorter version of this, as you can see here. So there we go. I've got my bucktail sticking past the red. We'll just cut the front end to make it easier to tie in. Like so, and then just build up the head of your fly. Now I'm not going to add any flashabou to this fly in particular, but I do tend to use it on a lot of them. It just gives it that extra sparkle when it's in the water. There, just stroke it back and pull out any loose fibers. Do a double whip finish on it. And trim off the thread. Take some clear varnish and a couple of dabs on the eye of the hook to hold everything tight into place and makes the fly look nicer. Now, as you can see, this is a very simple fly to tie. I only tie simple flies, not because I can't tie the other ones, but it just makes it easier. They catch fish just the same. And there you have it. There's your Mickey fin salmon fly. Thanks for joining me today tying a Mickey fin streamer salmon fly. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. And if you'd like to see where I actually fish this fly, please subscribe and I will show you some of the best places to fly fish in the Maritime Provinces in Canada. Until then, have a great day, stay safe, and tight lines.